Shit takes so long. Welcome to Movielife Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back.
Behind the walls of Shawshank Prison,
It's my life! Don't you understand? It's my life! Get her out!
you can't stop a man from dreaming.
There's something inside they can't touch.
Sometimes you can't stop him at all. Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, The Shawshank Redemption, rated R. At theaters now.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen that trailer.
Yeah, that shit
Because
is
this whole time I
inspirational.
was like, Stephen King? I'm not watching that. That shit's going to be terrifying. But
Yeah.
that sounded all sweeping music and friggin' when a man and another man live in a prison. Like, that was
Have you
not that bad.
not seen this?
No, I had seen it, but I had missed it early on thinking,
Yeah.
oh, snap, this is Stephen King.
Yeah, I don't think I knew it was Stephen King at the time. I just knew that it was out on TV all the time, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, that movie's awesome. And then I found out later
Yeah.
it was Stephen King. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't know that ahead of time.
Yeah, where's all the scary clowns? This is great.
No one panned down to the sewers.
Please.
Movie Life Crisis, Season 4, Episode 24. We are cruising.
24.
And
already.
this week,
Where's
it is The Shawshank Redemption.
the number 4 with a smile.
You could be NR, mistaken. Yeah, dude, we got Shawshank Redemption this episode, and the next episode is Forrest Gump. That is some freaking back-to-back
Forrest
bangers.
Gump. Yeah.
That's like on some of the old mixtapes when it would go Baby I'm Yours right into whatever came after that on the old mixtape.
I can't remember, but I do know that it ended with B97 as the guy came in too early. Yeah, dude, I had seen this. This is a great movie.
Yeah.
I could see why it's gotten so popular.
Give us a synopsis.
All right, Tim Robbins plays Andy Dufresne, a banker wrongly convicted for murdering his wife and her lover, is sentenced to life in Shawshank Prison. And over 2 decades, he befriends Red, who is played by Morgan Freeman, and becomes instrumental in exposing corruption while quietly plotting his escape. That's sort of it.
Yeah, I like how every time you
pretty
do
close.
the synopsis, it looks like you're like Krusty. It's like, I should have said no to those cue cards.
I'm
Like it's played by.
adding
Hang on a second. Well, hold on. I lost my
Yeah,
card.
well, this is the thing. I wanted to throw in there that it was Morgan Freeman. I was trying to just throw some extra shit in there since I had AI write it.
Yeah, fix it in post. Why not? That's me doing that. That doesn't happen for real. You'll be back on your couch eating cheddar popcorn while I'm out here slaving away in the salt mines. Trying to
You
get this
should,
shit out. I will Shawshank a bitch if you don't start bringing your energy.
I will read it again. Would you like me to read it again in a British
no.
accent? Very straight.
I want you to read it in Morgan Freeman's accent.
And a Dufresne, a banker. I can't.
Remember when
do
you
a
could
Morgan
get?
Freeman.
Remember when you could get the Morgan Freeman voice on your GPS when we used to have actual
yeah.
physical GPSs that you mounted to your windshield?
Oh yeah, there was a Morgan Freeman thing on Waze for a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Also, if you're into AI voices, 11 Labs has a reader for your phone. And if it's a really long thing and I want to read it while I'm at a stoplight, but I can't finish it, I just sit share and go to that, and then it reads it in like Burt Reynolds' voice or Morgan Freeman's voice or Laurence Olivier's voice. It's really
dude.
weird, but it's
That's
kind of
awesome.
cool. Yeah, it's kind
And
of
the cool thing about that is that Morgan Freeman gets paid for that use of his talent.
He definitely does.
I'm just totally legal and above board.
Burt Reynolds does not, though. It goes to the estate.
This movie had a $25 million budget and grossed $73 million. But in the year of its release, it came out like into September. It only made like $28 million. So it ended up number 51 on the year because it released so late. So it finished 94, right between Drop Zone and Guarding Tess. Remember Drop Zone, the other like skydiving movie?
Two of my
Natasha
favorites.
Henstridge.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Henstridge.
I remember that one.
How does that? Did I say that right?
So
I
wait
can't
a
remember.
second. You're telling me it releases in September, so they only go from September to December, and then that's how it falls in that year?
Yeah,
And
because
they
they do
don't-
the gross for the release year. And most movies, like you only earn money for like a month anyway. But some stuff is so good, the tail is like it's earning for 12 weeks. And this
Right.
movie got a re-release, and then the international release all happened in 95. And I think it was the biggest VHS rental of 95, but in 94
So wait,
it's actually...
does it rank in 95 too, or no?
It probably does. I didn't go look at it.
Yeah. I'm saying that's how they do it, though, right? So you're saying
they'll rank in both years sometimes.
Oh, sweet. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how they did that.
Moderate commercial success. I mean, 3x the budget, and the budget wasn't a lot, so I think we call that a commercial success. But really, Academy Awards freaking out the wazoo.
Yeah. Well, it was nominated for 7.
Yeah,
It didn't win any though.
I know, but getting 7 nominations is
that's pretty awesome.
like that's way out kicking your coverage for a movie like this.
But also, I mean, now that everybody loves it and it's freaking ranking in the top of IMDb's #1 and all of that stuff, like it feels like I started looking at the Academy Awards that beat this one, but like I think this one should have won. Like I don't understand why it didn't, I guess is my question. Because like maybe they didn't. They were like, oh, okay, this is great. I mean, we really like it. And it's Stephen King, and it's got all these great people, but they decided not to do it. Like, I don't understand that. That's just so crazy to me that they decided not to give it to it. Any of the 7 Academy Awards that it was nominated for. It's pretty ridiculous.
Well, who like this one is the Forrest Gump wins for editing. Like,
yeah.
Like this is the Forrest Gump year. Like, dude, I think they
it
got
is,
that
and
one
it's
right. But
and it's the Pulp Fiction year and all that stuff. And I was looking at it.
Forrest Gump wins Best Picture, Best Director. Tom Hanks wins Best Actor. Jessica Lange wins Best Actress for Blue Sky, which I don't care about at all.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actor, Best Screenplay written for the screen, Pulp Fiction.
Right.
Best Adapted Screenplay, Forrest Gump. This one loses that category, Best Adapted Screenplay. But he does win that. The writer-director, Frank Darabont, does win Best Adapted Screenplay for Green Mile in 99.
Yeah. And that's also Stephen King, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It is. And it's
so
also
like
Tom Hanks.
But the Best Picture was
but it didn't win
Forrest
Best
Gump.
It didn't win Best Score, but Lion King won. Freaking no-brainer
Yeah,
there.
of course. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You
I guess
know,
it
so
was
I don't-
up in a tough year. But
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying,
Shawshank, Quiz Show, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. So
This is one of the years where I actually think they got it right because it's the movie that
you're
won a
right.
lot of stuff was the movie that I actually think is incredible. Some year, like the year before, it's like the piano won. It's like what? Who's that?
The
lame?
pianist. I'm out. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, now that we went through the whole list, you're right.
We don't
can't
ever do the
believe-
Oscar stuff. At the end of the year, we do our knockoff Oscars, the Nathans, and sometimes we'll go through the real categories. But usually, it's like here's the movies that we still think are awesome.
Right.
There's somebody said I can't remember who it is, but some like podcast pop culture guy who likes movies is like they should give the Oscars out 5 years after the movie's released. That way, you can tell if the movies are actually good or if you're just like everyone thought it was good for a hot second.
Yeah, that happens a lot, I think.
Yeah. Totally. Well, that's like the fun thing about the podcast. Like, hey, the pianist. No, thank you.
Yeah, dude, we're hitting.
We're gonna watch
4
the
of
Chase.
the
Though, you guys
5.
want to watch the Chase?
Yeah. I hope you don't want to watch the Chase. You can't find it
Yeah,
anywhere.
that shit is gone. Yeah, dude, we're
4
getting a lot of this year. That's what I'm saying.
4
This
of
year
the
they got it
5s.
right.
What about 4 Weddings and a Funeral? I'm glad we didn't do that one because I remember that one and that's not my jam. But
Yeah.
like,
It's fine.
yeah, it's fine. I
If
could
we'd
see
have
where
done that
one didn't
instead
win.
of Time Cop or the Chase, it would have been okay.
Really?
I don't care
Those
about
were
4
so
Weddings
much
and a
fun.
Funeral.
Both of those were fun.
Yeah, totally.
Super fun.
Sequels and spinoffs? No.
No, I had it marked down as the Stephen King novella, the Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Did you see why they didn't? I was reading about why they didn't name it that because people didn't want it to think it was a Rita Hayworth like biop.
Well, the thing that I
pick.
did read is that even the name, The Shawshank Redemption, the title kind of threw people off because nobody knew anything about what. Like, if you just see the poster, it just says the Shawshank Redemption, and it's just freaking Tim Robbins doing the like Jesus arms wide pose in the rain. You
Yeah.
have no idea what the movie's about.
Yeah.
like none of it tells you anything about what the movie is about.
Oh man, that is true. And the rain's coming down nice and hard.
Yeah, or if you look at the poster for like Speed, it's like Keanu Reeves' face on one half and Sandra Bullock's face on the other half, and then a bus on fire coming out of the middle. It's like, all right, I'm cool. I get it. I'm into that. This is
know
the
what
one
that
about the
is.
bus that has to go above a certain speed. If it doesn't go above a certain speed, it blows up. And the name of that movie was The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
Dude, you're right. I'm looking at the poster right now, and
Yeah. He's doing the Michael Jackson pose where he's got the shirt back behind him with the wind flapping.
it's just flapping in the breeze. Yeah. Yeah, I could see why people would go like Shawshank. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to see that.
Yeah, plus Tim Robbins is the lead, and he does a lot of weird movies. So
Yeah,
like,
he
I don't know.
does.
That might be fun, or it might be like The Player, where it's I don't care about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember when you first saw this?
I don't remember. I do remember it being on TNT or like one of those like syndicated channels. I'm telling you, early on, I was just like, I found out it was Stephen King, and I was like, I'm not. I think, you know what? And honestly, I know we talk about big and a lot on here, but I really do think it was big and gone like, oh, dude, it's like this short story from Stephen King, and I think you would really like it. And I was like, no, that sounds horrible. I can't even look at clowns anymore. I'm definitely not watching some prison movie.
Pour some out for Biggin.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I'm not doing that. But because I knew it was Stephen King, I skipped it early on. And because Ted Turner sold the rights to it, or for TNT, or whoever got it for TNT, so cheap, it's on all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I don't, because I would have been 14 when it came out, so I'm still in, I think, junior high at the time. I don't think I saw it right then, but I probably would have seen it in high school. In the next couple of years, I would have rented it.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it in high school, and I remember thinking, like, man, that movie's awesome. But I don't remember the specifics. It's just, I've just always thought, like, Shawshank Redemption, that shit is badass. It's great. I love it. I love everything about it.
It really is. It really is.
And
it's
then,
very well shot too. So like,
yeah, man.
it still holds up. Like, I know it's a period piece, but like, I think it holds up.
Well, it is,
really
but because you're inside of a prison, like I feel like it's one of the movies that we're doing from 30 years ago, where really the movie takes place between like 1947 and like 1968.
Yeah,
it still seems perfectly like it's fine. It's not any more dated in 2024 than it was in 1994.
Yeah, agreed. Looks really good.
How'd you rate it?
Dude, I gave it 8.5. I really, I've seen it a bunch of times. I've probably seen it 3, 4, maybe 5 times. And then partial times when it pops up on TNT or when I'm flipping the channels, or I used to flip through the channels. But dude, and I want to give it higher because I like it, but because it's so long, I don't think this isn't something I watch every year. Like some of these movies where I'm rating it up in the 8s, like I watch those all the time. Like that's just like a comfort movie. You know what I'm saying? But like this one, I don't do that. 2 hours, 22 minutes. I don't normally have that amount of time at one time.
Did it feel long to you when you were watching it this time?
Because
it didn't to me. I was like,
it didn't
a lot of
feel,
times, same thing. It's like over 2 hours. I'm like, oh God, I got to freaking block out my whole weekend. This, I was like, I'm having a blast. I had to turn it off last night because I was staying up too late. I would have watched the whole thing in one sitting.
Right. So my thing is it didn't feel long, but I was cognizant of how much time I had already spent. And I was like, oh crap, it's like 10 o'clock. I got to go to bed. So I did shut it off in the middle and finish it the next day. Again, I'm going to watch it probably 10 more times before I die in a couple of years. So like, I'm definitely, I like it and I want to give it an 8.5, but I just couldn't give it anything higher than that because of how long it is and how much time I'd have to spend watching it.
What's the longest movie that you would like put in your top?
I don't know. I'd like, dude, anything around, like, it's got to be 2 hours or shorter for me to like be able to go like I never have 2 hours where I'm not doing something.
Yeah, I just don't rate how much I like the movies based on whether or not I have 90 minutes to enjoy them or like 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like,
I know, but
that kind of goes into how rewatchable they are. Like, oh, dude, Lord of the Rings extended edition. I was like, all right, I guess I'll take vacation. Like, I don't have 3.5 hours. I'm not in college.
Right, exactly. And I want to watch those again. And Jake keeps asking about them. But dude, do I have 9 hours to mark aside to watch those 3 movies? Like, I don't think I do. So like,
they screen them in the theater here in Regal, like all the movies across one whole day, and you pay whatever price and you can go in there. And I was like, that's cool. Is there a TV in the toilet? Because if it's 9 hours, that's where I'm going to be most of the time.
I'm going to miss all
drinks.
the good fights with the orcs. Dude. That's what lowered it for me.
It didn't feel long to me at all. And I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, and the
Nice.
only reason I gave it a 9.5 instead of a 10 is because we got Forrest Gump coming next, and I think that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
That's your all-time favorite.
And I was like, man, I have nothing to complain about with this movie because I wouldn't take anything out, and it didn't feel long to me. I was actually super into it.
Yeah.
But just knowing that I got Forrest Gump coming up next, I was like, I can't give it a 10 because I think I'm going to have Forrest Gump.
Say 8. Yeah.
But man, I don't know what the complaint is here, other than that, like, you don't have 2 hours to sit through a movie.
Yeah. No, and I don't. That's literally the only thing I can think of.
I didn't dislike any of the casting choices or the performance. It was freaking the cinematography was great. I love the setting. Dude, the freaking old school Canadian tuxedo prison uniforms were badass.
Yeah,
like, that shit was stone cold. Like compared to orange jumpsuits, I was like, shit. I mean, I definitely don't want to go to prison. Maybe my biggest fear in all of life is going to prison. But the Canadian tuxedo uniform is way better than the orange jumpsuit.
I don't know that I want to go to prison either. And
I for sure don't. Even if you say I get to hang out with Morgan Freeman, I'm gonna pass on that.
What about, so what kind of shirt is that? Was the shirt jean, or is it just like the jean jackets they gave him with the jeans? It looks
had the
kind of
jean jacket with the jeans. The shirt was like a kind of like a chambray. I don't think it was actually jean, but it had a jean look to it, so I call it Canadian tuxedo. And they had the cold leather boots. I was like, dude, that's a good-looking prison outfit. And then everybody could wear their fancy freaking hats like they were taxi drivers. I was like, dude, this is a good prison look.
Some sort of Irish bar hat. Yeah, they rolled the jeans over the boots.
Yeah.
That looked...
like, the music is good. The direction's good. The story is freaking phenomenal. The dialogue is amazing. It's narrated by Morgan Freeman, which is an absolute slam dunk choice.
Yeah, and this was the first time he did it, too.
Yeah, dude, just imagine you're going like, all right, we're going to do a movie. It's going to be voiceover narration. Everybody in the room is going to go like, no matter what the movie is, like, can we get Morgan Freeman? That would be number one for sure if we can get him. If not him, then, like Gilbert Gottfried or somebody. Can you imagine that, dude?
I like how we're picking dead people. We went with Gilbert Gottfried instead of James.
We need to get AI to redo this movie with Gilbert Gottfried dubbing all of Morgan Freeman's voiceover and then see how it changes the movie.
Oh man, that would be horrible.
It's going to get significantly lower score from me. Yeah, man, this is one of my best movies of the year. When we put together the list, I figured Forrest Gump. I figured Forrest Gump would be my number one movie of the year. I think that's still going to be the case. I think this is going to be number 2. I freaking love it.
Dude. I don't have a problem with any of the things that you just said. I literally just took, because I had it as a 9, and I was like, you know what though, it's pretty long. I want to take points off for that, and I'm
trying to think of like what's an awesome movie that me and you both like that actually is like kind of long. I can't think of any. Like all the stuff that I know me and you both love. It's all in that like 90-minute. Yeah. To like maybe 2-hour range.
Yeah, 90 to 120 is where that's all the movies I feel like. Like even the longer like Marvel movies. While I was in there, I was like, that was cool, but like
I was gonna say the first Avenger movie that Joss Whedon did, that was like the end of MCU Phase 1. Like that movie was badass, but it was pushing 3 hours. I think if we watched that now for the podcast, we'd be like, it's a little long. I wanted it to end 45 minutes sooner. And then it ended.
This one, you're right though. I didn't want it to end sooner. I was just cognizant of how long it was getting.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's do best scenes. What's your first best scene?
Dude, my first best scene is the rooftop scene, where where they're tarring the top of the roof and
the license plate factory.
Yeah, the license plate factory. And Andy negotiates a beer.
3 beers per man.
Right, and then he didn't even take any. He was just happy doing it for the other guys. That whole thing was awesome, and just like, Morgan Freeman coming in with the. And that's how it came to pass on the second last. No, where he's like
the hardest screw to ever walk a turn at Shawshank.
Oh man, I'm out in the menagerie. So dude, he's doing the voiceover, and he was like, that's how he in the spring of '49 wound up sitting in a row at 10 o'clock in the morning, drinking ice cold Bohemian style beer. Like it was pretty cool, and it's a great scene because he's got him right on the edge, and he's holding him by the shirt. It's great. It's great.
I love that scene. It's one I always remember from the movie. I don't understand how just like mopping tar onto a roof makes it waterproof.
I think you got to make sure it's all one. No, of course. Yes, I was a roofer for
Obviously.
that day.
I've done some roofing, but never just mopped tar onto a roof. I always like did shingles or metal.
Well, that
or something
wasn't,
that was
that's
waterproof.
not, it didn't look sloped, so it was flat, right? So
Yeah, it's
as
one of
long
the
as
flat
it's
roofs.
one, as long as there's no gaps in the tar, wouldn't it all like cool and be one piece?
Yeah, I guess I have no idea how that works.
But wouldn't that just fill up with water?
I think usually if they're flat, they kind of slope a little bit, like to a gutter or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got that one. It's awesome, and like also because it's the first couple of years Andy's in prison, he's not loving it. Surprise, surprise, it's prison. But he's like working in the laundry, and people keep raping him. It's not a great time.
Oh man!
And this is the one where he like
sisters.
finally throws it out to the head guard, who's a freaking terrifying sociopath.
Yeah, he is.
And he like gives him advice. He's like, "Hey, I could set up this thing for you, so your wife can take this money that your brother left you as a gift, and then the IRS can't touch it. It's totally legal. I'd be happy to do the paperwork. I just need a small fee, which is just 3 beers apiece for my men and I."
Right.
And then that's an awesome scene, number one. But it's also the point where Andy starts to like find his place in Shawshank, and it tells the rest of the movie. It's like, oh shit, this guy's actually a banker. We should be using his knowledge to make ourselves more money instead of having him in the laundry.
Yeah, instead of having him do laundry or mopping tar, we could have him doing the books, cooking the books.
Yeah.
Cooking the books. Yeah, that was my first one because that's a freaking great scene.
That was on my list. The next one that I had on my list was when Brooks gets released.
Oh,
So
when he gets released.
Brooks is the old guy who's like the librarian at the prison.
Yeah.
He's been there since 1906 or something like that because the Kaiser had stolen their word for 20. No, he's been there for
diggity six.
he's been there for 50 years. He gets released in the 1950s, and he's completely institutionalized. He pulls a knife to the guy because he doesn't want to get released, and then he goes outside and he's bagging groceries, but he's like cars. And then so Brooks does a voiceover where he's writing a letter back to the guys in the prison saying like the world sure has gone and gotten itself in a big hurry.
Yeah.
And then the end of it is he hangs himself.
Right.
And
that
that
the scene where he holds the knife is the part that's my next scene.
yes.
Because I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
You get institutionalized. That's crazy.
Yeah, totally. And that to me, it's really important for the rest of the movie because then later on, Red goes through that exact same kind of thing. And so you saw it happen. Like this guy was in prison for so long that when he got out, he was like, being out sucks. I'm going to either commit a crime and go back to prison or I'm just going to hang myself. And then like his voiceover of like this guy who went in 1900. So like 1905. So he's like heard of cars, but he's never seen one really.
Seen one, right.
And then he gets out in 55 and it's like frickin' poodle skirts and Elvis and like it's
Right.
like
I'm
he's
sure
passed
he's
World
like-
War II and World War I. He missed both of them being in prison.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy amount of time to like, oh
Yeah,
shit, what
dude.
happened? And then they did that. What? That's wild.
Yeah. It seems like I know he's like seen cars when they like bring the bus in to drop
Right.
off the people, but like they're never moving as fast as they are when they're just going down the street in the town. Yeah, he was terrified, and rightfully so.
And also that I don't think that bit was like that in the novella. I think the writer fleshed out like I think Brooks was a minor character in the novella who had a different ending, and the writer kind of like wrote that part for the script to make it be like, hey, this is a thing that's going to be foreshadowing something that's going to maybe happen to Red later on. And I was like, that's
pretty cool.
Genius. I love that.
So I found the novella that I had on my Kindle. I don't even remember getting it, but I found it and I was like, oh, I'm going to read this before the podcast. And of course, I had no time, but
Yeah.
I do want to read it. Because if it's different like that, that's pretty cool.
There's a couple of small differences that I found. That was one of them. Yeah, I'm going to read it as well because I like Stephen King, except when it's terrifying clowns.
except when it's scary. One last thing about
Can't sleep,
old
clown will eat
Brooks.
me. Can't sleep, clown will eat me.
You want to say my new chainsaw and hockey mask? I know what you're going to say when I say this, but that librarian's eyebrows
Dude, I knew you were going to.
were the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen.
Yeah, man. This
They're-
dude had he had some lush, full eyebrows.
That Lush doesn't even scratch the surface. They were freaking huge stinging caterpillars walking over his eyes. They're
dude, they were-
ginormous. Ginormous. But no, that was my second scene when he freaks out. My third one, I can't not put the climactic scene where he climbs through 500 yards of sewage to freedom.
Yeah.
And to his triumph, walking through the sewer pipe that empties out into an open river or creek or whatever that is. That's just fantastic. Just hearing Morgan Freeman be like, Andy Dufresne, who crawled through the river of shit and came out clean on the other side. Like, that's freaking fantastic.
Let me ask you a serious question. Given the size of that pipe that he was climbing through,
I'm stuck. I've already gotten stuck.
Let's say that we can make the pipe that's your size, because you're considerably larger than Tim Robbins, who's built like Skeletor.
Right.
Like, if you don't have to tunnel through the wall, but you're in prison, it's like all you have to do is climb through this sewer pipe for a half mile.
I've already
and it's going to be freaking closed in all around you the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you get to the end, you can leave. Are you going to make it?
I don't know that I could tie my belongings to my ankle and then still have the arm strength to lower my fat ass down to the pipe.
You can just start at the beginning of the pipe. You only have to do the pipe.
Oh, so I just
crawling
get in
through
the pipe.
Sewage. Yeah,
I don't have to break the pipe with a rock.
No, you don't have to do the rest
Timed
of it.
with the thunder. That part was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I know. No, you don't have to do the rest of it. You just have to do the crawl through the sewage. Because I'm not sure if I could do. I think if I was prison breaking and I got to that point, I might be like, well, it's not that bad in prison. I got a pretty good situation.
I think I would think about the guy with the curly red hair that liked putting stuff in my mouth. And then I would crawl through the poop. Yes. I think I could do it. And now that I've had kids, poop and throw up aren't as bad as it. Like, I used to be a sympathetic puker that would just puke when somebody else did. Now I see puke, or like, there was a kid that waffle stomped a turd in the boys' bathroom like 3 days ago. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's horrible. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty gross, but like, it's just poop. Like, I've seen, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, I don't care. I've never cared about bodily fluids. I'm not like, hey, poop, I'm going to go grab it. But it's like, if I get some poop on me, I wipe it off. I wash my hands.
Wipe it off and clean. Right. That's how I am now.
But yeah.
But wading through it is different.
If I get it on my hands, it's not a big deal. But if you're like, you have to be like up to your nostrils in it with a pipe all closed around you. And as you're crawling, you're sloshing it up into your face. And the smell is so strong that you have no idea if you'll just pass out from lack of oxygen and then asphyxiate in this poop tube.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to die in the poop tube. I'm just gonna try my best to keep going. I'll throw up in the poop like he did. I'm fine with that. I just don't know, like, as I'm pulling myself forward and I'm on my belly and it's sliding in the front of my pants as I'm pulling myself along. I think I would like,
because he went face first, stomach down, and I wonder if you could just go like, well, it's got to be kind of sloping towards the ditch. Can I just do this like a water slide? Can I go feet first,
like
bottom
Goonies?
down,
just hop in and just go.
Can I try to get a running start at it and get like 100 yards down just that way?
I don't know how you make the rock hole any big enough for me to fit in it to start out with.
Yeah, I know. I think that's going to be tough.
Yeah,
that'd be tough for me. And yeah, dude, I got that scene too. Because the escape is awesome. I love the conclusion of the movie, the whole last 20 minutes,
right?
Which they did cut down to make shorter. But that's the exact scene that I had, because it's. I'm trying to think of what precipitated it. Like, he's cooking the books for the warden, and he's like, screw this out here. It was after the guy. It was after the young guy that had a cellmate that confessed to actually murdering his wife.
Right,
and then the warden had him
shot.
killed.
Right.
He came out of solitary, and he's like, "This is what I have to do forever now: is keep laundering money for this jerk off, and then I'm never going to get out of here." And I think that was the moment where he's like, "I'm out." So he's like, he's got the one guy to give him 6 feet of rope. He's freaking taking the warden's shoes. He's taking the ledger and stuff, and he's got. But the thing is, like, I watched it. I went and watched it again. We don't know that he's taken the warden's shoes. We only know that he's asked for rope.
Right.
And he tells Red, "Get busy living or get busy dying." And Red thinks that he's killed himself.
Yeah, he thinks.
And we just see like a just stationary, like mid shot of him sitting in his jail cell, like holding the rope, just staring off into the middle distance.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you cut to their call, the roll call the next morning. Everyone steps out, but he doesn't step out,
and he's not there. Yeah.
So it's like great. that moment. And obviously, I've seen it a bunch, so I know what's going to happen. But at the moment, like, you think that he's killed himself,
right?
Because you don't know that he's set up an escape, and you don't know that he's stolen the warden's shoes. You don't know that he's stolen his suit.
We don't even know about the hole behind the poster yet.
Yeah,
like that. That's
so like I don't think about this ending as being a twist, but when you watch it for the first time, it's a twist. It's like,
totally
that's
is a
freaking
twist.
brilliant, man. You have no
Yeah.
idea. You think he's going to kill himself, and you get there, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, dude straight up broke out, stole all the money that he laundered for the warden, and then
Yeah.
paced out to Mexico in a freaking top-down whatever Cadillac.
Yeah, and dude, and the way he goes to all the banks and he just signs the name that he made up. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so I had to put that in there because I went back and watched it because I was like, oh, did they not tip that at all? And I was like, no, they didn't. You had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Until Red figures it out and starts doing the voiceover saying like Andy realized that nobody looks at his convict's shoes.
Right. Yeah, and then they replay that same scene again and show it. Yeah, that was good. That was
Yeah,
good.
dude, I freaking loved that. That was my third scene as well. All right, quotes. Best three quotes.
All right, so my first one is when Andy comes up to Red and says, "I understand you're a man who knows how to get things." I picked that one because it kept repeating. They said it a couple of times. Every time Andy needed something, even though at this point he already knew Red, that's just how he said it.
Yep.
Like when he asked for the Rita Hayworth poster.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, can you get her? Well, it'll take a few weeks. He's like, weeks? Oh, yeah, Andy, I don't have him stuffed. I don't have her stuffed down my pants, or however he said it. I like how that's how they started that conversation every time.
Yeah, I have a slight variation of that same exact quote because Red says it a couple times. He's like, I'm the guy who can get things.
Yeah.
And then he says it again later on when he gets released, when he finally gets paroled after 40 years. So he's like, inside, I'm a guy who can get things, but outside, he's like, you could just go to the store. He's like, what do I do?
So have you ever read this story?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. So somebody at work did,
King,
though.
but I have not read this one.
I didn't either. And when I found it on my Kindle, it was a separate little small story. I don't know if it's part of another set.
It was released in a collection of short stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know why Red was in there for 40-something years?
He was in there for murder. They said it
Right.
in the movie, but they didn't say what the circumstances
The guy,
were. And maybe they did
I
in the
worked
book,
with,
but-
and the guy I worked with was like, dude, you're not going to like it once you read the book. That's why I was asking if you read it, because he
No, I
was in
didn't.
there a long time, but the reason he's in there is pretty crazy.
The funny thing is that in the book, he actually is written to be a white Irishman, and the director's like, no, dude, Morgan Freeman. It should be Morgan Freeman. And that's why he makes a joke. He's like, why do they call you Red? He's like, I don't know. Guess because I'm Irish.
That's freaking great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, by the way, they show like the one little montage of how he actually gets stuff smuggled in, and it's like a little tiny mini heist movie that's 60 seconds long. I freaking love that.
Yeah,
Like it gets smuggled in with the laundry, and then like he's paying off people all over the prison. He's like throwing cigarettes to this guy, and he wraps it up in the blanket and hands it to him, and then he gives it to Brooks, and he puts it on the book cart, and he gives him cigarettes. It's just the whole like
cigarettes.
secret
Everybody
prison
needs
economy.
Cigarettes. Yeah, I don't. Does
don't
that
know.
still work? Does that do people
No, I'm
still
sure,
need?
I'm sure they use vapes.
Here, I got a couple of carts for you. Yeah, I was one. I guess people
This one's
probably
mango.
still smoke. This one's called strawberry shortcake. Now get me my knife.
Yeah, so we both had very similar quotes for the first one.
Yeah.
Second quote I had was Andy was explaining to Red how he's laundering all the warden's money. And Red's like, doesn't matter. He's like, all that paperwork, they're going to eventually come down. He's like, well, they're not going to come down on me. They're going to come down on this guy that I made up. And then Andy goes, the funny thing is on the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
Yeah, that's freaking great. That's awesome. Because they never really said, only Andy said it. Do you feel like he was wrongly convicted, right? He didn't do it. We know that it was. Are we 100% sure that young kid was telling the truth? Like that,
I got some fan theories about the movie. Down a little bit further on. So
okay,
let's talk
we'll
about
talk.
that
We'll talk
a
about
bunch
it.
of them.
Yeah, cool.
What's your next quote?
My next quote is when they're trying to separate these books that they finally got after writing a letter a week.
Yeah.
And he finally gets all the books, and they're going through it, and he's calling them out, and Andy's telling him where to put it. And Haywood, he's like, the Count of Monte Cristo. He's like, that's Cristo, you dumb shit. And he's like, by Alexandre Dumbass. And he's like, dumbass? You mean, Dumas. You know, it's like about a prison break. And he's like, we ought to file that under educational too.
I love that part.
Yeah, the fact that they're all just like sitting around joking, it makes prison look not that bad. I mean, you got to remember that the guy from the sisters that like putting stuff in his mouth was there too. But I'm saying like, I like how they can make themselves or make it look like it still could be okay. And the fact that he built the whole library, that's awesome. That whole library section part of the movie I really liked.
Yeah, man.
How he kept writing just over and over until finally they were like, just please stop writing these letters.
Well, and that also really kind of foreshadows the twist because he's the guy, the guard tells him, he's like, yeah, he's like, that could take years about doing something like carving. Oh, Red tells him that about carving a chessboard. And he's like, well, time I got.
Right. Yeah.
And you can just see this mindset even from early on in the movie. He's like, I'm going to be here forever. I'm going to use this tiny little hammer and start carving away this huge freaking wall.
That's crazy. It would take 200 years.
Dude, even if I was in the cell on the end and you told me like you could probably eventually carve out of there, I'd be like, I don't know about that. That seems like a lot of work.
sounds like a lot. I guess I'll just keep letting that guy put stuff in my mouth. I would carve every night to the sound of lightning.
I like that
whatever.
you think that you would do that.
Oh, they say like, all right, when you go to prison, what you got to do is you got to either become somebody's bitch or beat up the biggest guy on the yard. So I already know what I'd do. I'd walk up to that biggest guy, look him right in the eyes, and hold his pocket all the way back to his cell because I'm not a fighter. And I know that I'm no good, so I'm going to have to dig my way out unless I really like it. And I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
I'm going to hang myself. That's what I'm doing. If I have to spend 20 years carving through the wall or be pleasuring people or hang myself.
If at first you don't succeed, give up. All right, so yeah, I've got dumbass.
I mean, surely we're both married. We could probably get plenty of advice about how not to orally pleasure someone. Because there's ways out of it. I've been led to understood.
I know exactly what I like. I think I would be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Probably less eye
renew my
contact.
driver's license already?
Quarterly taxes.
All right.
What's your third one?
My third quote is get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one.
The one that I put third was, what about you? What are you in here for? Same as you. He's like, innocent? He's like, only guilty man in Shawshank. I picked that one because you can ask a man what he's accused of, ask him what he's in for, but never ask a man what he's done.
Don't ask him what he's done. Yeah.
And I've learned that from that
Cadence.
documentary we watched.
Pour some out for big and
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, so that's my third one.
Yeah, dude. Characters?
I put Morgan Freeman first.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
Freeman's great.
I thought for sure you were going to put Tim Robbins first. I don't know why.
No, I mean, Tim Robbins is on the list. He was great.
Yeah, he was.
But I just, when I look at the people they thought about giving that part to, including like Harrison Ford, it's like, God, dude, that movie would just be so different if it wasn't Morgan Freeman.
It would be different. I think I would like a nice Harrison Ford voiceover, though. I like his voice. I'm
not like, Harrison Ford doesn't do a lot of stuff where I'm like, it's friggin' that was sucked. Like, he's always good. Yeah. But I just, I don't want to take Morgan Freeman out of this. I could take Andy, I could replace Andy before I could recast Red. And really, I don't want to recast either because I think both of them are perfect.
They did a great job. By the way, the first time Andy and Red met and he's throwing the baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read that little blurb somewhere. It was in some article. And he's throwing the baseball, and it took him 9 hours to shoot that little scene right there where he's talking to him for the first time. He threw the baseball for the whole 9 hours. And they said, he never complained once. He was a good sport about it. But then when he showed up to work the next day, his arm was in a sling, and he could barely move it because he threw the ball for 9 hours. Yeah,
that was one of the things they complained about with the director, Frank Darabont, because I think this was maybe his first feature film directing, and Morgan Freeman's he's like, you know what, I had a couple arguments with the director. He's like, that was kind of stressful. He's like, he liked to shoot a ton of takes, and he's like, I couldn't really tell the difference between one and the other, and it's like, why are we doing so much of this? Yeah. And that was when I saw the thing about them doing that toss the baseball thing for 9 hours, which does seem like a lot.
9 hours is quite the long time to do that.
Yeah. Tim Robbins is my second character.
Yeah, me too, dude. Freaking quiet.
He's not I never think of him as one of my favorite actors, but then I think about dude, he's in Bull Durham. He's in Hudsucker Proxy, and then he's in a movie like this. Like, his range is actually pretty insane. Like, I kind of forget that he's really awesome at acting.
He kind of crazy a little bit, but I really like him too.
Yeah, for sure. Who's your third?
Dude, so I went back and forth because, we always talk about who's the best character, and then sometimes we'll pick people who acted really great for a character that we didn't like. And if that was the case, then I picked the guy who was one of the sisters, the guy who kept putting stuff in his mouth. But like, I didn't want to pick him. So, and I didn't want to pick Hadley. So I ended up with Brooks Hatlin, James Whitmore, and his fantastic eyebrows, is who I ended up going with.
Yeah, man, he was really good. I ended up with Warden Norton.
Bob that guy, he was really good too.
He was great, man. And in the novella, apparently there was like a bunch of different wardens throughout his tenure, and the writer-director combined him into that one to give him like one main protagonist. Yeah. Dude, he's so good. He and Bob Gunton, as the actor, he auditioned for this while he was shooting Demolition Man. And remember, in Demolition Man, he was bald. He was like the leader of the fake society. Yeah. And so he had to wear a wig just for the audition.
That's awesome.
But dude, and then I read that some of the stuff that he did in this movie, where like when he talks to the press, is like he like intentionally did some like Nixon type stuff with his like hands and like delivery, and
I like that kind of stuff.
So good.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
And the whole, I don't know, man, the whole movie where it's like you empathize with and cheer for the prisoners, and the prison warden and the prison guards are the antagonists.
Right.
Like, I can't, but you don't even notice that you're doing it. Like, probably a lot of people who like this movie, like white people, are like, no, I'm for prisons. I like prisons. And then you watch this, you're like, yeah, he escaped. Hell yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and everybody's pulling for the other side. Yeah. Dude, I totally agree. That guy who played the warden was, what was his name again?
Bob Gunton.
Gunton. Yeah. He's good. When I was going to pick the red-haired guy, Boggs, dude, that's the guy from Rush Hour, and it didn't hit me until I started looking at other movies he was in. Yeah. And he's the guy that's the FBI guy in that, and I'd never, because his hair's lighter. His hair's whiter. If I need me,
I'd be working a big case for the FBI.
And I almost did it just because of all the quotes I wanted to do for Rush Hour.
Johnson, what'd you hear about me getting suspended? I don't know why I said that.
I don't even know why I said that.
Yeah, dude, I almost put Clancy Brown, who played Hadley, the prison guard, because he was freaking terrifying.
He was way good. But I wanted to pick... The guy who played
Brooks is really good. Yeah, James.
That's the thing. Like, I wanted to pick somebody that I liked the character.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel bad sometimes because I know that we could pick some of the bad guys, but we don't because, or I don't.
It's hard, man. You don't really, I mean, even if you look at the awards, like, you don't get a lot of nominations for playing, like, the villain.
Bad guy. Yeah.
Even though freaking people should, like Jeremy Irons and Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
So let's skip to fan theories before we do the writer-director stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So I looked up a couple of them, and one of them was that you were saying is like, did Andy actually kill his wife? Because we only ever got his version of the story, which was filtered through voiceover. So we never actually heard the real story. Yeah. And apparently in the book, it was a lot more up for discussion. Had he actually killed his wife, or was he really like imprisoned and but was innocent?
Right. That's, I got to be honest, I like to think he didn't do it, but that's only because I really like Andy.
That's the thing, man. If it turns out that he actually did kill his wife, then the whole movie you've been cheering for this guy to break out of prison when he should be there because he killed 2 people.
Right.
So actually, I love how much of this movie is kind of up for interpretation, and that's definitely one of them. I like Andy. I like to think he didn't do that, but there's no question he was, as he said in the movie, a cold fish. And he did have the gun, and the bullets had his fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
The other fan theory that I saw was that Andy actually does die instead of escaping, and then him escaping is just Red's fantasy. Like when the cell door opened and he doesn't walk out, he actually did hang himself. That's a fan theory. That one I don't buy, because we see a bunch of stuff on screen. Like, we see a picture of his shirt and his rock hammer in the paper. We also see the warden, like, and the head guard get arrested, and that's in the paper. There's like on-screen evidence that Andy actually did escape and turn them all in.
Right.
So like I think that's a fun theory, but I don't buy it.
Yeah.
But then the third one that I think is maybe a little bit more arguable, which is that Andy escapes. Red gets paroled, but instead of going to Mexico, he hangs himself. Because he's repeating all the Brooks stuff, like he's carving his name in the thing, and he's talking about he's like they probably won't throw up any roadblocks for an old crook like me. He's looking at guns in the window of the pawn shop. He's got his suit on.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that because of the final scene in Mexico, it's the only thing in the movie that isn't like gray and dreary. It's like very bright and like saturated. Like you could believe that it's a fantasy sequence.
Right.
That one to me is like I don't know. I don't think you could prove the answer for that one way or the other, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. I like that people come up with the fan theories.
I do too.
It's pretty sweet.
I do too. And the director really didn't want to shoot that last scene in Mexico. He thought it was like a little bit too like, Hallmark happy ending-ish.
Right. Happy endings.
But the studio Castle Rock said like, we'll shoot it, but then you can decide if you want to include it or not. And then once he shot it, he was like, oh, I actually kind of like it. And then Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman both liked it, so he did choose to put it in the movie. But initially, he's like, I don't want to do the like saccharine happy ending.
Yeah. I kind of like the happy ending. I like that they
I love a happy ending. Yeah, for sure. But I think that's a cool fan theory that Red got paroled and actually didn't go find Andy. He just hung himself right where Brooks had.
Man, that's crazy. He did scratch his name in the thing.
Yeah. And he's like repeating a lot of the same dialogue. He's like at the pawn shop looking at the handguns.
Yeah. I don't want... we've talked numerous times about how neither of us want to go to prison. Yes. I also don't want to bag groceries.
No.
If
I have to
really
choose
bad.
between the two, I'm definitely picking groceries.
I'm bagging
bagging
groceries. I'll carry them to your car. But I'm saying, I don't want to do that either.
I don't know why anyone is still doing that job. Of all the jobs in the grocery stores that they've outsourced to machines, why is a human still putting shit in bags for me? I can so totally do that.
I don't know if you've ever been to regular grocery stores, but you definitely have to check yourself out and bag it.
Yeah, I have.
It's horrible.
And I like that. I would rather just do it all by myself.
No, I don't want to do any of that. I want to bring it, set it on the belt, and then everybody does all the things for me, and then I give them my money and I leave.
Yeah, but while that's happening, you have to talk to him about, Thursday sure was cloudy.
No, I don't have to talk to anybody. I'm looking at my phone. I got headphones in. I give them the nod and smile and hold up my card, and then I'm ready. I'm not talking to anybody.
No hablo inglés.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, writer-director stuff. So it's based on a short story by Stephen King, which we talked about. The writer-director, Frank Darabont, optioned the story for $5,000. He'd optioned a short story of Stephen King's in like early 1980s.
Yeah.
And Stephen King never cashed the check, by the way.
You saw what he did with it? How he framed it and sent it back to him?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, and Stephen King used to famously let writers option his short stories for $1 so they could get practice adapting material for the screen. So he's always been super chill about like, yeah, man, take my story, try to make a movie out of it. Why not?
He seems super chill about a lot of things.
Yeah, he's awesome. Love that guy.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then so Frank Darabont options it, writes the screenplay, and then gets it set up to be produced by Castle Rock Entertainment, which is a production company started by Rob Reiner after he adapted a Stephen King story into the movie Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, yeah.
So even though prison movies weren't really thought to be profitable, Castle Rock decided to take a chance on it. But Rob Reiner, who's the head of Castle Rock and who's done Stephen King stuff before, he's like, I want to direct it. He's like, I'll give you $2 million, somewhere between $2 and $3 million. I'll just pay it to you if you will let me direct the movie.
Yeah.
And Darabont was like, I really wanted to because I liked his vision, and also I was broke. He's like, but then I was like, this might be my only chance to do something awesome. So
right.
I ultimately said no. But Rob Reiner wanted to cast Tom Cruise as Andy and Harrison Ford as Red.
Oof, that would have been way different.
That would have been way different. That escape scene would have taken up like 40% of the movie if it was Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
and he definitely would have ran
through the. He would have ran through the pipe.
Oh yeah, he would have ran. The dogs would have been chasing him. He would have done the Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies where he takes the dogs and smashes their heads together.
Dude, so me thinking that this was a scary movie, now looking at Frank Darabont's list of movies, like before this he did The Fly, The Blob, or The Fly 2, The Blob, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Green Mile. Yeah, these are all scary movies, like Shawshank.
Well, Green Mile's not really scary, right?
I mean, sure.
And then he does The Majestic in 2001. That's not really scary. But yeah, then he does a bunch of scary stuff.
I'm tired, boss. Yeah, dude, I like me some Green Mile. I hope when we get to 99, I hope we do that one.
Dude,
like
99's got so many good movies. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But for sure. And then the only other thing that I had for that, like, kind of production stuff was that Tim Robbins, once he got the part, convinced the director to hire Frank Deakins as a cinematographer because he worked with him on the Hudsucker Proxy for the Coen brothers. And because Frank Darabont was a new director, he brought an experienced cinematographer, but then they butted heads a lot over, like...
Of course they did.
Darabont, the director, didn't want to show any exterior shots of the prison because he wanted it to feel really isolating.
Right.
But then the cinematographers like had a vision for like, oh, I want to do this great helicopter shot from the exterior, and then it will. So they butted heads a lot on stuff like that.
That guy's done a lot of the Coen brothers movies, by the way.
He's done a lot of the Coen brothers. He's done a bunch of great stuff, and this movie was freaking beautifully shot. Like they had some great stuff in there.
Agreed.
That's all I got for the writer director.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, even looking at when I looked up the producer, the only thing the producer had done was like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 with the same dude. You know what I'm saying? Like they've worked together a few times, but like Shawshank is the claim to fame for Nicky Marvin.
Yeah, no doubt. And the only other thing I had just for bonus good was that Andy Dufresne stole $370,000 from the warden. Well, I mean, the warden stole it, and then Andy stole it back from him.
Yeah.
And that was in 1966. That would be $3.5 million today. So he can buy a pretty nice boat in Mexico. He doesn't have to sand it himself. He can just buy one that's already done.
Is it 3.5 now or 3.5 in the 90s? I guess
no, it's
either way.
3.5 in 2024.
Okay. So what is that
even
in the 90s?
Even then in the 90s, I'm sure it'd be over $1 million.
Yeah. That's... In the 90s, though, minimum wage was still $7.
Yeah, but now it's... Oh, no, wait. That was one thing about the last scene. Like, Red walks down the beach. He's wearing his still full suit, except he took his shoes off. And Andy is like... There's like a wrecked boat that's like on the beach that's clearly not seaworthy, and he's just on top sanding it. And I was like, I don't think that boat's going to do it, boss. I think you should probably start with one that floats and then maybe work on it away from the beach, like in the shade somewhere is probably what I would do.
Get one that's already a little closer to being finished.
You have $3.5 million in today's money. You don't have to sand one on the beach yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Do you have any more good?
I have no more good.
Do you have any worst?
I want to talk about the people that want to put stuff in Andy's mouth one more time.
The sisters.
I don't like that. I know that that's prison, apparently. I'm assuming. I have no idea firsthand, but I'm saying, like, that's always a thing.
Yeah.
God, that's freaking just reprehensible, and I don't like it.
Well, dude, that's one of the weird things about when we're doing the podcast. It's like, hey, we want to point out stuff that the movie showed that's inappropriate. Obviously, raping people is inappropriate, but also if that really does happen in prison, isn't it okay to have that be part of the movie about prison? Seems like
it totally is. And I'm not saying take it out. I'm just saying, like, that's the freaking worst, man. Like,
dude.
That's horrible. And the way he had to fight him off, and sometimes he win, and sometimes he didn't. Like, that's horrible. Like, I don't want any part of that. Yeah,
that's.
I just want my farts to keep making noise, and
just gonna hang out here outside of prison, stay away from that whole situation.
Right, agreed. But
dude,
I don't have any other risks.
Honestly, given that this thing came out in the 90s, like, it was I mean, it's cool that they cast Morgan Freeman instead of Harrison Ford. That's awesome.
Yeah,
there were no other, like, leads that were people of color.
Right.
And, like, as far as, like, the guards or the other prisoners, but...
Although it is a prison in Maine. There's, like, 7 black people in Maine, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, supposedly one of the things about prisons now is that they're very much divided along racial lines. Like, there's no, like, black people and white people being friends in prison, from what I have read about prison. Which is a bummer, because if I was in prison, I want to be friends with Morgan Freeman.
I just pictured you walking up to an older black guy just asking him to be your friend because you think he's like Morgan Freeman.
If I go drop a Shawshank Redemption quote on him, I hear you're a man who can get things. Like, kill Whitey. He's like, whoa, what do you think you are, alcoholism?
Oh, man, that's great.
5 questions. Is it okay for kids?
I said 15.
The TBS version where they take out all the sister stuff?
Yeah. They don't take a lot of it out. I remember that vividly. So they don't take a lot of that out, but it's toned down a bit. I still say 15.
Yeah. Mature themes.
Yeah.
Would this movie get made if it were pitched now? I mean, I guess.
Sure. I don't think they ever need to remake this.
They definitely should never remake
Dude,
this,
all
but
the people that made it, though, are going to die, and they're going to remake it, just so you know.
I know. I just hope that I'm also dead when that happens.
What if they make it a limited series on Netflix, and they really explore Andy and Red's relationship?
Yeah, I mean, time they got. I don't... yeah, dude, they made it, like, in 2017, and it made hundreds of millions of dollars. So clearly there's still an interest in Stephen King properties. I'm with you. I hope they never touch this one.
I'd like them to not make it again,
attempts.
also.
They can do whatever they want to that because I'm not watching it.
Yeah, but you've seen it. You know what Pennywise looks like now?
Yeah, dude.
Picture him in your head.
Brain.
Yeah.
Can't sleep. Clown eat me.
It's terrifying.
Can't sleep. Clown eat me. Yeah, I did. I did no recasting. I broke our podcasting rules because I don't want anyone to touch this movie.
Yeah, I did it just because I thought we were supposed to. So I was just like, I don't want him. I didn't want to do it either. I said Andy was Adam Driver.
Yeah.
And then for Red, I want Idris Elba. I want him to be British. And then the Warden, I want Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, that's good casting. I like that.
Would you watch it if they remade it and did that? No.
I don't know. Maybe if it was those people, I might check it out.
It's directed by Tim Burton, and music by Alan.
If it's directed by Tim Burton, then it's definitely gonna be Johnny Depp playing Andy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude. Can you still watch and enjoy this in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite movies of the year that we've done.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, you totally should. It's great.
It's so good, man. Like it says it's a prison drama, but honestly, it doesn't feel like that heavy of a movie to me. Like there's a couple of spots like you're talking about where it's like, oh, that sucks. But a lot of it's like just guys hanging out and having conversations and like little plot lines.
Guys hanging out. Two guys playing horse. It's fantastic.
And then occasionally someone might rape someone just for a second, but you don't really see it. You just know like, well, that sucks. I wish I would have gone to the fridge during that part.
They always turn the camera and just show the curtains flapping in the breeze every time they do it.
And then it cuts to Andy with like bruises all over his face from like fighting him off or not.
Yeah, face. That's the thing.
But yes, you can still watch this. It's absolutely awesome. It's not streaming anywhere. I rented it. But
yeah, $3.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, and delicious 4K movie rental. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, it was super clear.
All right.
Next episode is
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I'm not a smart man.
Mama says there's magic shoes. Take me
I'm
wherever
so
I want to
excited, man.
go.
They said it. Mama said they take me anywhere.
Oh man, yeah, I got nothing else.
We did have someone ask us on Discord if we're still going to do Beetlejuice for Patreon. We totally are.
Yeah,
I think we're past the really terrible time of the year when I text Jeff and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? You want to record?" And then 3 weeks later, he'd be like, "What happened?"
Who's this now? New phone. Who this?
It's like kids were going to like 35 football practices.
Yeah, everybody had all the things, but there's some stuff that is over now. So we got.
I think now
time.
we got a little bit of time. Maybe we can try to bang out some Patreon because there's still stuff we want to do for 1988. Beetlejuice definitely on the list, and then we got some Christmas stuff that'll be fun. So if you want to check out Patreon, we have free trials, or you can support the arts for as little as $5 a month.
Support the arts.
Those of you who are, thank you very much. We are still coming for you. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Thanks for listening to Movielife Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review. And remember, don't drive angry.